Morning's live and we see the market on this Monday morning, it's going to be a very interesting day here in the crypto space, I think. We had a nice little dump down prior to the overnight hours where we had a lot of things go down several percent. We were looking across the board down 2-3%. Ethereum was down right next to like 37.20. Well, it's bounced out, repaired all those losses, or parred all those losses, and now Ethereum's back on the cusp of 3,800, which it hit, didn't stay over yet, but this was a tremendous bounce back for Ethereum. If we're looking for a continuation in alt season, this is what we want to see. XRP bounced off that $3.40 all-time high area. And if this setup maintains, we're going to be over $4 for the first time in XRP's history. We've got a few different things we're watching, like H-bar's up about 4% on the day. We've got some that are trying to flip back bullish or get back towards even. But we're going to see if the market, in the 4-hourly at least, because it's possible we come down and retest all of these moving averages, but it's all about your perspective. Are you short-term or are you long-term with this? Like me, this is just getting started. That daily time frame, you've got a golden cross with the 50 and the 100 coming through the 200, which is an absolute confirmation. The weekly is explosive in all of these. We've got weekly engulfing candles as well as daily engulfing candles. These are explosive. So I'm not looking to sell anything. I don't care what they do. They can up and down, left and right, kick me in the nuts. I don't care. I'm not selling any of it. ACH had a nice run up yesterday. I think it was about 20% on the day after it peaked at about 30% or so, and then it came back down, consolidated, and now today it was down like 3% overnight or early AM, and now it is an engulfing candle in the weekly still. It came up to the top on Sunday, consolidated down. In the daily time frame, it doesn't look bad. We consolidated over the 200. We're working pending on a bullish cross here in the daily, so this is well behind XDC. Remember XDC's move? How it went 23% or 30% or whatever it was in a couple of days. That's where we're at right now with ACH. For the next part of this move now, we go from 268, and if it plays out properly like XDC did, up to 4.3 cents approximately. That's the cream of the move. If you sold out the beginning of the move, that's good because you still made 23% or whatever if you filled out the target. Notice how my potential, and this is what you want to look at. Notice how the technical target, the first target was up to 2720. What are we back testing right now? That first target, that's exactly what you want to do after a volatile spike. If you need to look at the prototypical results of a catastrophic move, it would just go up, continue up, no backtrack, and then it just falls out. If you want to see the right proper steps, you move up 30-35%. You back test the initial move. This was the initial technical target. You back test and hold. Then you go up to the next layer, and that's where you get the big significant bounce. So yeah, 20-25% is tasty. And we bought in at 222. And the beauty of it is I can show you the group trade here. Let me go over the group trade just for anybody who's part of it, and then we can talk about it a little bit deeper. My portfolio is going up because everything is just banging up right now that I own. And our trades, we'll just go to all time. We're cooking right now. My users are up $20,000 plus. I'm up 4,556. Our trades, ACH is up 497, VChain's up 202, and IOTA's up $350. Seemingly moving along, and I'm not looking to get rid of anything. So if you want to trade your positions, that's on you. I can't tell you what to do, but I am looking for these for the longer term, and I'm not in this to lose money. I said this when we first started copy trading. I'm not doing this to lose money. And the beauty of it is if you're in the copy trading, it's only 1x. I'm not doing anything over 1x. There was one accidental trade open when I was driving up here with bad connection that did 20x. And I got it basically within even because I didn't realize it was even open. But that's why you would see that one exception. But buying big spike yesterday on ACH. So, I mean, I don't really see much that I don't like. We're going to go through, we'll look at AMP. I do have some exposure to AMP, but in a different kind of way on LBank because I had like $400 on there. So I did a frisky outlier. So I'm sure you can imagine what that big L is. But I'm going to speak of it in terms of a spot position. So let's see. But that was because of lack of funds because they were tied up in everything else. Dent's up 3.7. We've got gold right now is probably going to be great for mining stocks this morning. We could get the double kabam here. If you own gold, silver, and mining stocks along with crypto, you could get the big surge of all of them. Mining stocks look to be doing okay. They're going to do okay today. Gold's up 26 bucks or over 3/4 of 1%, approaching that $3,400 an ounce area again. Barrett's up 0.82% in pre-market. B2 Gold's up 1.5% in pre-market. Silver's up 0.94% to $38.50 per ounce. First Majestic is up 1.93% in pre-market. Hecla Mining's up 1.03%. Fortuna Mining is up 1.27%. And Dolly Varden Silver Corporation is up 0.27. And if you're wondering, Hecla Mining sitting down there at $5.88 is the single largest silver producer in the USA. So consider that. But with that being said, I need to take my vitamins real quick. I forgot to do it before I started. These are amino acids, and it's got 100 milligrams. I always talk about it, of caffeine with a little bit of creatine. But obviously, I'm not working out today or tomorrow. But I worked out the 6 days prior to coming out here. But tomorrow I'll be going home. But we're going to continue to have this continuous coverage. We did 2 lives yesterday, 2 updates. The day before, a couple of lives, updates. Today, the live. We'll do more. Promise. But it's that morning time now. How does it react with the U.S. waking up? The volatility last night shook some people out in my own community, which that's the way it goes. We're dealing with finance. The moment the money goes down. And that's why I always tell everybody, I don't look at my portfolio very often. So that was the first time I actually looked at it since the last time we looked at it or when I bought something. So I don't like to look at it. I think the last time I looked at it, it said 39,000. I wasn't quite at 40,000 when I looked at it last. So what did it say again? Just for my own personal record, it's like 43, 47. Anyhow, okay, that's surprising. I didn't realize it got that high. But, so you see the potential here. We got XRP, like I said, it bounced off at $3.40 perfectly. It created a cup and handle. This cup and handle should push us up over $4 for the first time in our history. The only thing we're watching right now is to make sure that we don't double top here. And then we do have projections. If it does, nothing major, maybe 250, maybe it comes down farther, maybe it reverses, maybe it tops. But I see a cup and handle here in the short term. That makes me feel like that's probably not going to happen on the drop. I see a cup and handle forming. Unless we break down now in the morning, like we just get an overzealous dump and the whole market starts coming down. It seems like we should be able to at least finish back up here to this cup at 366. However, we did come up to 358. What time is that? About midnight? Is that what it was? About midnight, I want to say. Yeah. And now we're consolidating that move. So, but when you look at these in the daily and the weekly, they look phenomenal. They look phenomenal. Like, they look phenomenal. And if you want to join the group trading, you want to be part of what you've seen with those stats. And remember, past performance never predicts future success, ever. So if you join, there's a lot of risk involved, but maintain the understanding that it's a 1x. It's a 1x trade. You won't be an XRP if you're spot or if you're leveraged or if you're group trading with me, because we look at opportunity that hasn't presented itself yet. That's why we're so big on IOTA, so big on ACH, and so big on VChain right now. Unfortunately, ACH helped us out a little bit yesterday. We're still waiting on IOTA. We're still waiting on VChain, these big pops. And they're going to happen. One by one, they're going to happen. It's all about patience. So if you lend me your trust, if you lend me your time, if you lend me your understanding, and you also lend me your opportunity, and what I mean by that is you help present ideas to us, like the ones who re-inform me where Dent was at in the pattern or Band was in the pattern. Because without that, it would have just flew right over because I was paying attention to other things. So we'll see how this plays out this morning. We'll see how the consolidation and how the volatility decides to shake up this morning. Because I believe that this all that shakeout is nonsense. I'm telling you guys, I have never felt this way, having such control of an entire group. Because right now I'm in charge, basically like an asset manager, even though I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an asset manager, nor do I want to be one. The ones who are copying me, I have $119,000 or $123,000 that I'm managing right now. So I'm an independent advisor, you could say, that does it out of the goodness of my heart. But if you want to join because of all of the spam, get into the exclusive Telegram, Join Tom's Army here on YouTube. $9.99 a month. If you're new, I've been doing this since March 24th of 2021. I've never missed a day. And if you do join Tom's Army, you get the exclusive Telegram. You just go into the post. There's a message. And for members only of paid members, click on the link and you'll come into here. This is such a benefit for anybody who's a trader. We've got group swing trades. We've got the content links for my content, the charts by all members that are shared. We got the Big House Readers Digest, which we had our first episode on, or our first edition on Sunday. Shout out to the Fine Group. So if you want to go through this, don't waste your money, things not to buy. The Big House Readers Digest, crypto remedies that truly work, Tom's technical analysis, and the jaws of a bear trap, a survivor story, manage your next bull run, get your drinks on the house, and then just remember all the stuff that's in your 7 inspiring life U-turns, join Tom's Army. And then we got a whole edition that you can read right here. New members, spotlighted members, a whole bunch of stuff. Defined, had a great vision. Jorge and everybody else who's helping Nick, all the admins. I really appreciate your time. We've got a new bot in here that will help get out spam. It'll force you to make sure you're human. A lot of stuff going on here. We've got the copy trade set up step by step if you're wondering, but you've got to join Tom's Army to be part of all of this. One thing I haven't mentioned this morning, but you know how big of a fan I am. I told you XRP Healthcare was getting ready for a substantial move. This is not what I was talking about. See how it went up 4 hourly? How high it went up last night? And then it consolidated. This is prototypical for XRP Healthcare when it's getting ready for a solidified move. Now, we need it to get over now and validate this move. Get over 1033, back test it, and then I set it up way down here to give it grace into August, but I'm not sure it's going to take that long. We've got a huge cup that was just filled, right? We talked about that. Now, it's trying to build a handle here. If it creates this handle properly in this short-term cup, this is going to give us the power to push us plus 20 cents. When this moves, it's going to not just knock your socks off. You're not even going to realize you took a dump, and you did, because it's going to just pull it all out so quickly you're not even going to know what's happening. Hopefully you don't shit yourself when this happens, because it's going to go unbelievably quick when it does. Remember the first time around I said just wait, just wait, just wait, and then it goes from 1.7 up to what, 50 cents? You haven't seen nothing yet with this. We haven't seen nothing yet, I believe. So this little first target would get you about, like I said, 20 cents. I like when it validates what I'm saying. And I know I don't have the comments on right now. They're going to go too fast, and I had to get through some stuff. I'll look at my phone. I can turn them on here to see if there's anything of note. The actual target here would be 34. Look how I've set this up, though. I set forward projections on everything. So this is what I firmly expect to happen here in time. In time, it's measured for the entirety of this pattern, and that's what I'm looking for. I do the same thing with everything else. Axelar's over 40 cents. Casper's up 2.9% this morning. But if you look at all of these, that's how I have these set up. I have forward projections. I think IOTA is getting ready for like a 30% bang, if not more right now. But big W's that are going to fill. And on this one, I didn't do all of the forward projecting because I want to do it together. And we've done it before, but I want to do it together. What if, okay, first level, we break out of here. So we'll go from here. Actually, you know what? We can do it from here. That was resistance, support, resistance, support. We'll do a dual layer just in case. So this would be, we break out, we get to the max potential, right, of this short-term consolidation. Obviously, we're going to have that first layer that we're going to have to break out of. So we go from the middle resistance to the support, where we can validate a clear and concise move from resistance to support. And you've got something like that. And now it gets fun. So let's put the price labels on, and now we'll look at the forward projection. And I'm a big fan of IOTA. I believe it's going to do things that a lot of others are not going to do. $4.65, that other part of the move puts us. Wow. No way. Now imagine it comes up here, fills this $5 area, and then we have this. This is how you put the max. This is what I did with XRP years ahead. And everybody thought I was crazy when I did this up to 350, and then it has 542 and 679. I don't think we think we're so crazy anymore. because we've already filled out the big cup on the all-time chart. Now it's a matter of bouncing out and pushing up the extra couple of dollars. Well, if you look at it the same way with IOTA, we're so far. That's why I keep saying, if you missed XRP at 34 cents with us, don't become the victim. Don't become the emotional tirade. Because let's face it, if XDC or if IOTA gets up to 10 bucks and it's at 24 cents right now, have you really missed it? No. So you got to pay very close attention to what's going on. I already said Algo's a great buy, but I decided to double down on IOTA, period, at the price point. So that's why you see in group we have 20,000 plus tokens of IOTA, but nothing of Algo. And the fact I went so deep in XDC doesn't allow so much in the other areas when it comes to certain ones. Now, XDC had the back test. We had such an amazing breakout that now it's doing what it needed to do. But in the weekly, don't be fooled what you're seeing. Look at that weekly engulfing candle. In the daily, daily engulfing candle, the 4 hourly is coming for back test. That's it. And we don't know how far it comes. Maybe it comes to the 20. Maybe it comes down to the pattern breakout. But this is normal. And now remember what happens here. Watch the rest of the market. And if it starts picking up, what's going to happen tomorrow with XDC or the day after? It's going to have another volatile spike. I'm telling you, these weekly candles are incredibly bullish. I've never seen weekly candles after this long of a consolidation in crypto and the prices that are so low still, because XRP was just like this last November. And now it's at 352. Some of these other ones have been waiting 6-7 months to power through on a top of what they did for the multiple years. We've been 4, 5, 6 years deep in some of these in the same area. They've come back down to the same area, and it's like you're only going to get this kind of opportunity for so long. It's a tremendous opportunity. Man, and the way the capital rotation is happening, it's something to see here. XLM's finally starting to gain some steam here. And this is all XDC's doing. It's boom, boom, reverse. And now it's going to come back up here. You'd think we've got to have some kind of spike up here to... Ooh, 80 cents would be the next big push for XLM. So we're starting to talk about some big kahunis here now. H-bar we talked yesterday was getting ready. It's up 5.4%. That's why I ended up buying 20,000 tokens on the drops. Because it was like, I just can't not have it. But I still put a lot of stock into Band. I put a lot of stock into Dent. I put a lot of stock into Data. And remember what XDC is doing. ACH did that yesterday as well. It came down all the way from here. We had a nice drop down to 264. That was a healthy correction. Very healthy correction. So we went down 14.5%. No, more than that. That's where we're at now. 16.6% on the consolidation. Now, if we hold this, we're back testing the initial move right now, which is very bullish if we can hold. And you would just get the huge surge plus after if it ends up holding. Data's still on the verge of making the same move that ACH did yesterday. It hasn't powered out yet. We're waiting for that push up to 2.4. I'm convinced all of this is going to happen. I forward projected all of these, and now one by one, the domino effect is on. You know, I've got the targets for all. Like, all you have to do is look. I have short target, long targets. Oh, the only thing I didn't do with VeChain was put the price label. Don't. So, 4.97 cents. Oh my God. This is the big target here. But that doesn't even put us to all-time highs with VeChain. This just gets us up to where, everybody? What are we working on with everything? These cups. And I measured it up to here. And you could absolutely form this. But there's a cup that needs to be formed here as well. So like this is going to get very volatile. This has been a 5-year consolidation for most of this. 4 years since the bull run in 21. Look how, look at VeChain. VeChain's legitimately down like 90... Let's see. Well, maybe not 90 now. I did say maybe not 90. Oh, look at that. 90% down right on the money. So you're talking about getting VeChain right now from the top of the 2021 bull market. You're getting it for 10 cents on the dollar. If I told you in 21 when VeChain was at 28 cents, in 2025, on July 21st, you could get it for 10 cents on the dollar, and it's showing signs of actually breaking out of a long-term consolidation in the micro, as well as looking to break out to get us through the long-term consolidation. You'd say, where the hell do I sign up? This looks a lot like XRP's consolidation for 7 years. So that's what I'm trying to get through to everybody. These are all where XRP was. So there's going to be a lot of focus on XRP. And unless you've already gotten in like we did, and we have 10,000 tokens, yeah, it makes a lot of difference for us. But if you're just buying XRP right now and you're buying 1,000 tokens for, what would it be right now? For $3,500. Look at that. We bought 10,000 tokens for 3,400, and now it's for 1,000 tokens. 10% of the tokens cost more than we bought 10 times more. So if you're buying 1,000 tokens and you're like, I got $3,500 worth of XRP, skip it. What are you looking for? A 50% return, 100%, maybe if you're lucky. And it's gone so far. You know, but percentage based, there's so many better opportunities. Yeah, XRP to move 8 cents, which is an $800 move for us. For somebody else, it's 2.37%. You know, it's still 2.37% for us, but everything's appreciated from 3,500 and now it's worth 35,000. So now instead of getting 2% on 3,500, we're getting 2% on 35,000. You understand the difference? Or on, you know what I mean? From the price it moved up at 346 or whatever. But that's the point. That's what we're trying to do with the rest. If you love the projection, the trajectile, and being in something so cheap, you've got to follow along with some of the others. If DGB was available, I would be all over it if I didn't have to go off chain. But I'm not doing it. Everybody knows the issue I had. I bought 2 million DGB and I had it for a long time. And when I sent it to the DGB wallet the last time, it disappeared. It didn't show any signs of it. There was a glitch. Nothing I could do. I had to reach out to support, which is non-existent, except when you get a response a couple of days later from the proper person, if you can even find them. And then I found out that the app was reskinned from another app, Somecoin, which really pissed me off, because why would you use Somecoin's app and reskin it? Make your own. You know, it's the Digibyte community. There's enough support there where they can make a proper app. So it threw me off. I got my funds back after about 72 hours, but that was like $17,000 or $16,000 worth of DGB at the time. And I made a decision that I'm not buying DGB until it's either on BITUNIX or until they do something to fix these issues, because I'm not going to leave it all on Albank. That's the problem. I'm not going to send it to crypto.com. I'm not even going to let them use anything because their fees are ridiculous. Not that I would sell it there, but still. So I made a decision that I'm going to have to step away from my baby. And then I reinvested in other things. And we are where we're at. And I'm very happy with my decision, because putting that much money up for risk is not a good idea. Good morning. 8:26 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, July 21st, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. And I appreciate the 72 people or 142 people here. Please make sure to hit that like button. I will look through the comments on my phone. I'm not going to bother everybody with seeing everything going across the screen. I wish I was at home so that I would have my big screen so I could see everybody's stuff and it wouldn't interfere with the flow, but I am not going to be home until tomorrow. Let me go up here and first let me take my vitamins. Always tastes so nasty after brushing your teeth. Anyhow, so good morning, Mario Louise Willamese. Love it. I love that name. Trial by Fire, welcome. And Steven, good morning, and thanks for being in Town Zone for over 3 months with the XRP Meteor. Syrian, welcome in, and thanks for being the #1 top fan right now. And being part of Town Zone for over 1 year with the I Told You So Bad. Syrian, did it not go super quick getting through that first year of Tom's Army? Like, unbelievably light speed. And thank you so much for helping me on this journey and keeping this YouTube channel safe. Jorge, thank you so much for being a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram. Being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. So hit that like button to show Tom your support and subscribe to Tom's channel. Best community, hands down. I appreciate that, Jorge. And I appreciate you helping us keep this in a proper direction. It's taken me many, many years to get this to where I want, but we are flipping flowing. We are flowing. No, I didn't cut my hair. It just looks fantastic because I just showered and everything. And everybody always tells me it looks like it's cut in the morning, but it's not. It's just the way I do it. I told you I have a big forehead, big brain, big skull. If somebody wants to hit me in the head, I have a big bone to hit them right in the face or their hand. Let's see. Chill Lofi, welcome in, and thanks for being the number 3 top fan. Big Dog, good morning to you and Define Group. Thanks for both being in Towns on for 3+ months with the XP Meteor. Hope you're having a blessed day, Big Dog. And Define, thank you so much for being a very trusted bot in here and in the Telegram and helping me innovate that Telegram. You, Jorge, Nick, you guys are incredible. Define, this is personally to you. I really appreciate you helping me innovate. I appreciate all the back and forth, and we're turning that into something I couldn't even envision. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Shane, yes, I haven't even talked, well, we talked about it briefly, but XRP Healthcare is up about 24%. It's working on a much larger move. For transparency, I have 102,220 tokens. Before the drop down under 5 cents, I had 63,000 and I decided to buy 40% more and it's cooking. I'm up double on just more than double on that purchase. So yeah, we're cooking right now through the market. I think we don't have to worry right now. I told you, if there's something to worry about, I will forward warn. Everybody who's part of this community knows I will get out of the way if it feels like everything's broken down. And I am not afraid to get right back in the game when it proves to me that things are looking right. On Saturday, or Friday is a perfect example. I was traveling out here. We sold positions early. We had late the night before. We had a feeling that we were going to have a little bit of a drop down. We went like 3 to 5 to 6% across the board. We rebought in on a 30-minute when it looked like that W was about to round on the second part of the W Gartley reversal in the short time frames. We bought back on and it was the unbelievably good decision. Now, I'm not talking about like XRP and XRP. I'm talking about on BITUNIX. When I talk about trades, because I don't trade XRP or XP Healthcare, they just sit in the wallet, and the XRP Healthcare wallet. They're not tradable. They are. I mean, I can take them out and trade, but in my own mind, they're gone. I lost that money already, and we'll see it in 10 years and see what happens. But I've got so much other stuff that we can build on while still maintaining our philosophy and focus on XRP. But the bottom line is we can't go back to 34 cents and do this again. I told you, you get one chance at all of this, and once the rotation flips, it's over. It never goes back there again, even if it's done it for years. Same thing's happening right before our very eyes with IOTA. Same thing with Algo. Same thing with VeChain. Same thing with DGB. Same thing with HDAR. Same thing with XLR and Casper and Dent and Band and all these other things, but you can't possibly own everything. And ACH and Doge and AMP and data, it's all happening. You got to pick and choose the ones you like. I personally like the IoT tokens, and a lot of people still tell me they can't find a data streamer token as part of the IoT. You're just gonna have to keep looking. Just go to the IoT market cap for one and start looking through the coin list, and it'll help you big time. That's why I put a lot of stock into VeChain. I like the ISO tokens, but I don't buy anything typically outside of it. So that's just where I stand right now. And I think the decision we've made and the understanding we have and what we know after 4 years of doing this, I think we're going to have a big rotational flip into the IoT and the ISO. Could there come a parabolic drop somewhere? Sure. But like I said 2 weeks ago, stop worrying about that drop and enjoy this move. I said it. I'll continue to say it. If I'm not showing fear, why are you? And why are you all here? Ask yourself. And what are you going to do if this does push up to that next layer? And not just the next layer, but if this actually in the weekly and the monthly starts to play out, if you're a dick now before making a little more wealth or becoming very well off, you're going to be an even bigger dick. You know, you're going to be an even bigger dick. So look in the mirror and ask yourself, do I want to be the biggest dick of all? Or do I want to be creating abundance for all like Tom? That's your two choices. Do you want to be a dick or do you want to create abundance? Because if you're a dick, you're going to be a real big prick later. And I would advise you to change that mindset before you come into some kind of wealth. Because the worst thing you can do is become too big-headed and not understand what's going on around you. That's the one thing I'm trying to not lose focus of and why I do this every single day, regardless of what I'm doing. Jan, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 4 years. Or 3, wait a minute. 3 years with the XRP Diamond Hands badge and being a very trusted mod as well. Jan's been here basically since the beginning. It's amazing. Chill Lofi, welcome in. Thanks for being the number 3 top fan in this live with a bunch of other people as well, tied for 3. Jonas, welcome in. Let's see. Crazy Pole, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XP Predictor. Need for Speed, good morning, and thanks for being the number 2 top fan. Love it. Bake, good morning. Jonas, welcome in. RC Krugel, good day to you as well, friend. Clutch Racing, welcome in. Says, join Tom's Army, people. Best crypto guy on YouTube, hands on. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. And thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XP Media. Let's see. Need for Speed. Need for Speed. Let me go back up and see what I missed. Marshall, did you hear about this hidden market cap for XRP that's at $6 trillion? There's nothing that can technically be verified about that, but I wouldn't be surprised. And the problem with the hidden market cap is it's not going to do us any good because that's off-chain trading. So if there's paper trading and there's $6 trillion, it doesn't do us any good. That's $6 trillion that never hits the books. So if you're looking for that capital rotation in, that's money that's going to be left to the side. That's what really pisses me off about the redacted versions of the redacted documents that we were given with the lawsuit. There was 2 different prices, what was given to retail and off-chain. They redacted and blacked out the part for the institutions, and it really pissed me off at the time. And this is the reason why it really pissed me off, because we don't know how much money is sitting off-chain. We don't. And it's a big problem. Because for all we know, they could rug pull retail at some point and off-chain allow all these big fish that are benefiting in the paper markets end up using that utility and capital gained from the paper trading, dump this market on XRP 75%, let them take those paper funds in USDT or whatever the hell their case is with ROUSD now, because they can manipulate the books. Yeah, hands down, they can do what USDT Tether does now. And they can marginalize what they want. So that's where it gets tricky here. I'm being dead serious. It gets really tricky in this next step. Everybody talks about the ETF with XRP and all this money that's going to flow in from BlackRock. To me, that's a pump and dump. You start talking about BlackRock. Look what happened to Ethereum at first. It pumped up to 4K and then dropped down to under 2,000. What if XRP with the same thing and pumps up past $4 and drops down to that $2.50 or $2? Are you going to hold? Are you going to buy? Are you regretful right now and you're going to have an emotional decision? Because if you're regretful and that's the only reason you want to buy XRP, don't do it. There's so many better opportunities here. Imagine XRP at 35 cents is what IOTA is right now, is what Algo is right now, is what HBAR is right now, is what XDC is right now, is what XLM. XLM is more like XRP at $1.50 in its price history right now. Dent, same thing. Data, ACH, maybe XRP at about 50 cents after the move yesterday, or 60 cents. VeChain, same thing. Band, same thing. Doge, not quite. Doge is like XRP at about $1.35, $1.40. Ant, same thing. You know, Axelar, same thing. Axelar's got partnerships with Ripple, and that's the one that sticks in my crawl that I don't have currently because of everything I have. So that one's probably going to bother me later. Same thing with Casper because I rotated money. So far, so good, though. I'm not going to complain. Because I could have made, the addition I made with XRP Healthcare could have very easily been part of the Axelar funds. But I just feel like that's going to go so parabolic. And a lot of these are going to go so parabolic. We're not going to know what to do soon. I already don't know what to do, to be honest with you. Because I don't want any more cash. So all of this has to stay invested. Like the US dollar is tanking, you know, and the ones who are going to get past this next, I say it all the time, and I've got people in my own, you know, surroundings all the time that I talk, and it's like talking on thin air, you know, and the people that actually personally know me, you guys listen to me more. Even though they can see what's going on, they can feel what's going on, I don't read on what I have. You know, if you've seen me, you would just think I'm some broke dick, and that's how I like it. Even though I do dress accordingly, like I've upped my dress a little bit to more button up and nicer style just because, to be more professional. But that's just an overall dynamic shift in myself because of going from style. I feel like we're having this universal. We're on the rise. I mean, that's all I can say. It's taken us 4.5 years of straight dedication to get to this point, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. And if Ethereum ends up going here, we're going to pop. I mean, Ethereum's already back tested. That's what I was trying to say yesterday too. We popped down a little bit yesterday, but our target wasn't even filled. We've already filled these targets out. Like, you don't have to do anything. Just look at my charts. I label it step by step by step before it ever even happens. All you have to do is watch. Once you get into the flow, you don't have to do anything. You can just sit back, relax, smoke a cigar, do it. I don't advise smoking a cigar. I don't smoke cigarettes or anything. Cannabis, maybe. I don't even really like alcohol. I opened 2 things of alcohol and I took 1 sip, wasted it. The other one I didn't even open. I like my water though. Water's good. And I didn't bring cannabis out here. I did a reset out here. So when I get back home, it's going to be very nice in that regard. But yeah, there's so much stuff going on. It's so hard to articulate. And every time I do a live now, it goes by so quick. Like, we're 36 minutes in and I barely even got my point out. Like, this market is in a opportune moment. Like 2 weeks ago, you seen the flip in my decisions. All the back testing was done. All of the confirmation was felt. We might not have bought the bottom 5%, but we bought the bottom 10% after confirmation. That's why I wanted to prove it with IOTA at 22.6 cents. Even though we had bought it at 12 cents and rode it up, and then Capital, we rode and bought and sold it up and down and swung and in and out during all the consolidation and bullshit. Once it was time, you don't let go. So I'm holding on to IOTA with a vice grip for all of you. I'm holding on to ACH. Notice I didn't swindle after the drop down because I don't believe we're done. Just like with XRP, did I buy it every time it went up 30%, or did I sit through the big drops back down, stayed humble and said, hey, eventually we're clearing out these levels and we're going to get to 10x. I guaranteed everybody who bought $3,500 with me, it was going to turn into $35,000. Guaranteed it, or 34 to 34,000, 3,400. And it happened. We legitimately turned $3,400 into 35,000 in XRP. And the crazy thing is, you could have bought $3,800 worth and turned it into 35,000 right now if you would have just bought it last year when it made that one last dip at 38 cents, which we did in the XRP Bitcoin pairing. We cleaned house with that $5,000. I don't even know what it turned into, 30, 35 on top of what I still own, because I won't ever trade that bag. I'm telling you, I'm not trading that bag. There's no reason. What am I going to do? Turn it into fiat for what? Can't even use cash in half the places anymore. I've got enough gold and silver. I mean, I guess you can never have enough, but I have enough. Mining stocks, I mean, do I really need to buy more? I've got 56,000, not counting the appreciation today, worth of mining stocks. You know, so the portfolio is going a little bit, and I self-manage everything. I'm like an asset manager to my own stuff. I don't have an advisor. I don't have anybody controlling my stuff. All my stuff is self-directed. And I'm sure you can imagine why I do it personally. Now, you might not have the same ability, and you might need to have somebody advise. And there's nothing wrong with that. But like, for my skill level and my understanding of markets, well, financial advisor, I'd bury him. I've talked to him a lot. I wanted my dad to switch over to me instead of who he's paying. I said, well, pay me. Why are you paying this douchebag to have you in the Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google, the FANG stocks? Any idiot can put you in the FANG stocks, so we pay a financial advisor to put us in the easiest, most predictable stocks. Also the most easily and predictable ones that end up going capsize in a market struggle. I tried to tell my dad, if you want to go to a financial advisor and they're not telling you emerging markets, they're full of shit. He doesn't have one emerging market in his fund. How is that possible? So, I don't know. That's what I mean. Imagine I do all of this and you can't even get your parents to let you run their stuff. But I can have an audience of 45,000 and 30. You know, it's funny. We continue to make money in the group trading to the tune of, my group's up over $20,000 by the traders themselves, and I'm up like, and this is 1x trades in 2 weeks, like $4,500 in the group. 8 people have left. The 4 people left after the 30% move. They cashed out our group trade and they took off. They left the group trade after making 30% and just cashed out and left. Why? Don't you want to see what comes next? If I was telling you with ACH for days and days that we've got to stay on this for a reason, and then it pops 30%, and now it's consolidating for a bigger move, why not sit in with IOTA? Why not wait for VeChain with me? Why would you cash out? Like, this is what I mean. Drives me nuts. I'm not charging you a dime. Just do what you need to do. But if you feel that's the right decision, obviously cash out. But we lost 6 members in the group trading, even though they made plus 30% on those trades. And they were initial traders, which is funny. So maybe they finally made some real money, because one person made like $800 on that trade that ended up withdrawing everything. So I'm going to assume they never made money like that on trades and are sitting there saying, oh my God, I made more than I'm probably going to make this week at work after taxes. It's a surreal feeling when it happens, and it's hard to control the reasoning. Now, if you're like Jorge, who did a swing trade and he managed to kill it over the weekend, and to the point to where he bought himself a basic Christmas present 6 months, 7 months on delay because he put his funds to use, he was able to buy himself a TV on profits yesterday, a nice TV, one that he's probably wanted for a very long time, and that makes me so happy. And he's still got his investments that he can roll with. But he took his money that he made yesterday and said, you know what? I have something I need to buy. I have great profit here. And I know this market anyhow. And he's still got his own investments that he wants. And he did what he needed to do. And I respect that, because that's what I did in the run in December and January when I sold 75% of my crypto, redid my house, which cost like $60,000. And now you see how heavily invested I still am now. But I waited for the 60-70% drops across the board. I never sold XRP besides the side bag that I bought in the XRP Bitcoin pairing. That's the only thing I sold. I will never touch what's in the XRP healthcare. Well, I just won't, because I know we're being priced out. And sure, you could take the $35,000 and put it in something else and probably do better. I'm not doubting that. But are you really going to take it out, pay all of those taxes on $32,000 in gains? Let's just call it for what it is. If you still think there's appreciation, I will be damned if I'm going to sell that, send it to another exchange, withdraw it all, and pay the capital gains on all of that. It's not happening. Because even if you have it in a wallet, the moment you send it to an exchange to sell, and then you send it to a KYC exchange to withdraw, you're getting hammered. You're going to get hammered. So why not just wait to see how this plays out? We're down 6 cents or 7 cents from the all-time highs. Big freaking deal. So we gave $700 back, but we're up $31,000. Who cares? Or $32,000. Do we really care? So we've got to take the emotion out of this step. This is the hardest step for traders to get past. We waited through it all. The post-traumatic stress disorder is real of a long-term consolidation. Listen to me. I do this for a reason. I could be a financial advisor. I could be the asset manager. I've been offered these jobs now. They want me to quit my station to start doing that garbage. With some lucrative offers. I'll tell you what, I bet on myself and turned down very near half of a 9-figure offer, which is $500,000, to sell my station, become part of a group, be told what my content's going to be, promote all this garbage, and I told them to shove it up their ass. And this was well before we started to turn in the right direction the last few months. You know, once I hit 40,000, I started getting all these offers. Now I'm at 45,000 subscribers, and it's outrageous. Every day they're trying to buy my station. I said, listen, I don't give a rat's ass what you offer me. I'm going to make 10 times more than you could ever offer me with my own integrity. I'm telling you right now, nobody could pay me enough. This would be like having a multi-billion-dollar company and selling it out before it gets there for a couple million. Fuck that. Between the website, between the Telegram, between the groups, between the YouTube, Facebook's getting 13,000 views a day right now. My Facebook channel is outperforming my YouTube channel. Look at the last couple of days, how much views I've had. I had 11,800 views yesterday on Facebook. And today I've already had 12,000 views on Facebook. 12,000 views on Facebook today. If that doesn't tell you how we're starting to go parabolic in some of these other ways, 12,000 views on Facebook, it's 8:48 a.m. What the hell are they looking at? I haven't even put content on Facebook today yet. So they're going through past videos. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy how much my channel and I think the website helps too. I think people who get into the website are like, oh my God, he's putting a lot of money towards this. And that's because of all of you. So make sure you go to the website. And I'm sorry I'm bouncing around. There's so much stuff to talk about, and I have so little time in the lives, it feels like. Because it goes so fast. There's no way we're ending this in an hour. There's no way. I cannot believe these are going by so fast now. I can't believe it. It's just, I can't get through it. So go here, live API, dedicated servers. Soon, I'm having my exit thing on Wednesday where I'm in a big meeting with the people who helped me make this. They're going to help me take over control now, show me how to go live on my website only if I want to. But mostly if I go live on my website, it'll connect to YouTube still, unless I don't want it to. But there's live APIs, dedicated servers. You don't have to be an expert. Skip TradingView. I put it right on my website. Much easier to do. XRP market cap pops up like this when you first come on. It's a live API in the moment. It's got all the key stats, data, everything you need to see, seasonals. I've added everything here to make it much more. Over 1 year, we're up 530%. Year to date, 75%. 6 months, 14%. 3 months, 72%. Last month, 67%. Last week, 24.9%. Huge breakout of the cup and handle. We can all see it. We can all feel it. We all understand what we've been waiting for. We back tested it. There's no reason for this not to go $4 plus and to start hitting that 549 area. When you come on here, do this because the volume has to be on there. There's no exception. I put it into the live API, so you're screwed. You have to see the volume. That's the way I approach things, and you're going to trade the way I do because you need to see the truth. Then you go to moving average convergence divergence. It tells you the money flow, and I set it in the monthly permanently, and you can change it up here. See the difference between trading views? I've given you the option for it all. You can go to the 1, 10, 100,000 ranges. You can go from 1 day to 12 months. You can go from 1 hour to 4 hours. You can go to 1 minute to 45. So you can do it in any segment you want. You can have 3 indicators at once the way I set it up. The one volume is always there. RSI, look at that positive flow. I mean, with the moving average convergence, divergence, and MACD. Then go to RSI, which I don't need these to trade and do my understanding. I know what they're doing based on the charts, but this helps confirm it. RSI is bouncing off back into overbought, but this is good. A lot of people are going to say, oh, Tom, it's overbought. It's good. No. When you take the parabolic stride, you get into overbought and you stay in overbought. It's just the way it goes. It's how it works. So now we're looking at IOTA, right? So you want to look at IOTA, something different. You don't have to redo all of that until you go off the screen and come back. So we're on BITUNIX. Look at that green positive flow in the moving average convergence divergence here. Look how we're bouncing after we had a bullish cross with the blue crossing that red line. And now we're back testing that move. You see this? This is what you want. See the RSI making a perfect W. These are so bullish, I can't describe it. So go to the website and evolve what you're doing. Like, we're going to go from a level of consciousness here. And if this happens, I'm telling you, it's going to change everything with all of you. Your life is about to change. I know some of you already have. Like, my life's changed so much since I started this channel. It's unbelievable. Because everything is starting to transpire in the way that we started predicting years ago. And like some people are like, Tom, you're out of your fucking mind. XRP's never going to 10x. And it's like, what are you doing? And why are you selling? And why are you buying? And why do you? Because of this. Because of this. Syrian, thank you so much. I think we looked at Need for Speed's question too now. I think. Yeah, I talked about that. And thank you for the $1.99 donation. Also being in Tom's Army for over 1 year and being a very trusted mod. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. For XRP, never. I don't think I'm selling it. I think this is just going to be one of those things that sits and appreciates for years and years and decades to come. But if I was going to sell, remember, I bought a double bag so that I didn't have to worry about this. I tell everybody, buy twice as much as you want if you can afford it, which I couldn't at the time. But then when it came to 38 cents, I was in a much better situation a couple years later because I paid my house off in 23. So I didn't have a lot of excess capital and liquidity. So I had to do it a different way, build it up properly in crypto again. So my target for this rally, as everybody knows, before this market ever started, before we ever broke out, I had this set up like this. And I even drew this out before, I even drew it out before it happened. And I had set up the targets, and now it was forward projections. But 549 is the technical target of this market cycle with the top end potential if we created that long-term cup up to 638. So $5.49 to 638, there is simply no reason to sell out before that. Long-term cup and handle we're breaking out of could get us up to $63,000 on 10,000 tokens. Let that sink in. Did you just hear what I said? Can you outperform in another token? Maybe. Maybe. But what other token right now do you have $3,500 and that's working on $35,000 in value? Which means if you go up 10% from here, you're up $3,500. Did you hear that? A 10% move from here and we're up $3,500. It's where life-altering money happens, folks. And if you missed it on XRP, there's so many others that are behind it. And you have to look for the gatekeeper. You have to look for different things that are leading by charge. I think XRP and Ethereum bilaterally now are leading us into an extreme alt season. But most people are looking at XRP, buying it right now, and it blows my mind. Blows my mind. But yeah, that's where we sit right now. And now it's just going to be a matter of waiting this out again. Monday morning, U.S. wakes up at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Pacific Time, 6:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And they start to look at the market. Gold's up almost 40 bucks. We're going to have a great day. Don't forget to give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ on this beautiful Monday morning. We've given the ability with grace to be together and be able to watch this in real time. I can't think of another community that can do what we do, and that's not being, that's just being real. You know, I don't know who else is doing what we're doing. Let's watch this from a standpoint of humility, togetherness. We're trying to create a, I don't know, we're trying to, what's the right word, ascend to the next level in this living, so to say. And that's going to be to try to get everybody free of their 9 to 5. And that's what we're trying to do on this next rotation. Now we have to watch this morning. The good thing about this morning is that overnight and late last night, Ethereum made that big dive back down to around 37.20. That was huge. Because you would think now we can push past this level at some point with this engulfing weekly. Because you can see last night, if you go into like the 30, you can see it much clearer how far it actually did swing. And it did it a couple times. Like, first time when we moved up, we went from, on Friday, 36.65 back down to 34.77. Up to 38.22, down about 150 bucks, and now we've rounded out what looks like a little cup and handle. And if that's the case, we should round up to about $4,000. If Ethereum does in time today go up, or maybe in the next day or two go up to 4,000, look out. If it gets over 4,000 and holds, we are officially in alt season. Right now we're on the cusp, but if Ethereum gets over, this is my point. If Ethereum's over 3,981 and holds, we're officially in alt season. That's how close we are to alt season right now. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Alt season starts when Ethereum clears this hurdle and holds it and then works on its target to 7,329 overall. You'd have an extended alt season, and you want to know how you know we're getting into an alt season? Look at that volume. Volume is increasing, especially from 2020. It's more like it was in 23 when it started to have a little bit of a rally. So we're getting into that time, and these cup and handles are about to make that parabolic spike, which is going to be incredible. Michael, welcome in, and thanks for joining Tom's Army. For your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. I really, really appreciate that. And that's my face superimposed on there. And don't forget to join the Telegram for the members only. You can go on YouTube, and I'll show you how to do it if you want to join the Telegram. It's a great thing. You go on here, go to the post section because you're a paid member now. And this is for paid members of Tom's Army. It's for paid members of Tom's Army. Here, I should probably edit this and say exclusively. And it wasn't always like this, but we had a lot of people imitating me, so we had to go through a lot of security things. So now this is the standard protocol. We have 400 and something people in there. We just started this about 4 days ago, to have people join Tom's Army first because we had to get rid of so many people that were trying to spam the community. So the members of Tom's Army have to have a perk. And this is the biggest perk you're going to probably find on YouTube. So, and it's an unbelievable experience. If you're not in there, you're missing out on just unbelievable stuff right now, folks. Not Tom's Army. Whoops. Tom's Army. See how it makes me do it sideways? This is why sometimes when I type... Wait a minute. What happened to the rest of it? Huh. So it's going to make me redo the whole thing. That's interesting. Exclusively... for... Sorry about this. Members... of... Tom's... RMY. Hopefully that's right now. Exclusive full members. That's fine. Full members. The full members. That'll work. I'll change it later. But make sure you go there. It's just it's just incredible there. Let me catch up here. See if I missed anything else. I'm sorry if I missed your comments, but like I said, I don't have my big screen next to me that I use the 32-inch touchscreen tablet, basically TV/tablet, so I can see everything. Now you guys can see the difference in my setup at home compared to when I'm on the road. Abundance and blessings for all. And thank you so much, Tango, for saying that and being in Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XP meter and the $5 donation. Super generous. Super generous this morning. Wales, Josie Wales, thank you so much for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. And also the $4.99 donation. Said, Tom, it's because you're number one. Keep up the good work. I really appreciate that. I certainly try. And I'm so present here because I want everybody to succeed. And I know we're at a time now where we're at a very critical point in this infrastructure and the world flipping to the digital. And that's not just crypto, that's as a universal, but crypto is digital. Patriot for God, thank you for rejoining Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. I greatly appreciate that. And everybody, don't forget to get into the Telegram, please, if you're in Tom's Army. ZBCN, not right now because of the capital. I want to put it into things that I know. And I've already done very well on ZBCN, which afforded me a better opportunity in other ones too. But I kind of kept it in a straight, narrow focus right now. Like, this is me. I have tunnel vision. So there could be other people. I'm imagining ICP's got to be getting close to some kind of breakout. We had it measured out. What is going on here? Oh, it just... Yeah, we're breaking out right now as we speak. We're breaking out as we speak. So you're going to come up to the first layer is going to be somewhere around... Remember we talked about that $7.22 area when it first broke out? It's about a 15% mover. So that's where we're going to probably come up. But it is breaking out as we speak. And the initial target... What is all this? The initial target... If you look at the consolidation, this was an ascending formation. These are bullish continuations. They're not rising wedges. They're ascending, like rising triangles. Those are bullish continuations. A lot of people confuse them for rising wedges, but they're not. So it's a minor differential. It's not a huge difference, but they're minor differences. So Shane, if you want this in time, you're looking at 789 here in the short term from the short term breakout. I'm not looking at the farther. I'm looking at this consolidation right here with this ascending formation. Broke down, tapped that part of the uptrend and got back in and started breaking out. So you're looking at 788 on that breakout. But first, you're going to have to make sure, because you might hit here at 716 and back test maybe to 634. I doubt it would come all the way back down here because it's back tested a little bit in the 4 and 3 hourly. But yeah, that's what I'd be looking at for ICP. I can keep this on here just on the sharp, but just so we can stay updated. Shane did a phenomenal job though. At about $4.50, I believe, $4.40, he was all over that bottom. And even though we could have went down, it broke out. No, I think ICP is more in an ascending triangle breakout instead of a rising wedge. So that's a bullish continuation chain. I don't think that's necessarily a rising wedge. I think that's more of a rising triangle. Just price appreciation until breakout. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be misrepresenting what it is, but that's what I feel like it is based on the way it's set up. MXC very well could. The only reason I'm not dealing with MXC is I'm just not going to pay crypto.com for my money. Like if I'm going to make 150, the last time I made 250, 300%. And when I sold it out, I had to pay crypto.com like $800. And I'm not doing it no more. I was pissed. Made $4,000 in profit and I had to give them fucking almost 20% because of volatility. I'm being dead serious. And that was my final straw. That's when I took everything out, except where it's on the crypto Visa debit card. Or for when I use the CROs on there that I have locked up. And it's been since I started using the card. I don't know how long it's been now. Almost a year. So the price is appreciating on those at least. I think there's 40,000 CRO I locked up. But that's it. And the funny thing is I didn't buy CRO on crypto.com. I sent it from another exchange. Dan, thanks for being in. Tom's on me for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Ben Graham, welcome in. All the world stage, I'm glad you asked about Dent. We'll go over Dent and Trial by Fire. You're welcome, my friend. And thank you for being a part of this whole thing. Arichi, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor, and good morning to you. Telegram channel has vanished for me and link doesn't work. Really? Why is that? Defined, are you in here? Do you know what's going on? Are we having an issue? Good. You guys are just doing your thing, so I got no reason to stop.
Well, when you're done, I want to go eat one. Or I can just go.
If you want to, it's up to you. Well, I mean, you're the one who brought it up, not me.
No, because she keeps asking.
Oh, she's going to have to wait. I'm working. It's fine. We can go in a little bit. Not a bit. It's only 9 o'clock. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, that looks like it's on the cusp here, so. A lot of these do, like VeChain, I know VeChain's getting ready. It has to be. It's so overwound. It's so wound up. Look at that. That's so, like, we're a little bit behind ICP at the moment. Just behind, not much. Not much. So 4.9 cents. Ooh. We'll just be patient, guys. Don't worry. Be patient. That's all I can say. And yeah, I have to go take care of something, as you heard with Julie. So I'm going to have to log off quicker than I wanted. I have to go get something for my mom. But I'll be back soon. I can't imagine that I'm going to be gone for very long. I'm probably going to do an additional live here very quickly. But for Dent, we're looking at this, friends. We're looking for this micro move to get up to the top. So we're well behind the other movements. Daily time frame just pushing across the daily now. 4 hourly haven't even bounced off the golden cross yet. We're waiting for that parabolic spike like with ACH. And I'm expecting something, either a move up to 101 or up to 1.2 and then back down for a little bit of consolidation. Just like we're seeing with ACH and XDC. Those are what you want. You don't want straight up. We don't want XDC to go straight to 15. Even though it's nice because you'd make money, do you want it to go straight to 15 just to go back down in half like it did in the bull market of 24 when it first started? At the end of 24, beginning of 25, it cut in half. More. It went from 15 cents down to like 6. It's a huge cut down. So that would be the bigger target. That would bring us, you know, you can just measure it across like this instead if you want. It's still going to be the same area. Or you can bring it down here. It'll end up being, because you want it to match a little bit. So that's 1.4. So you're going to want to bring it like this. So you're looking for 1.34. So it's more like something like that. So you want to come down here and measure it out. Because it said it was going to go up to 1.348. So now we're looking at, okay, well maybe, and it's not saying it's going to go down there and back test because really nothing has. But if it did have an overzealous spike, maybe you would, you know, you could do something like that. Have a nice falling channel. But what I think is going to happen is it'll probably do this. back test this, maybe not even come all the way down here, and then shoot up. Now, if it does this, would be better. Come up to 1-0, back down to 8 if it's going to do it, and then out. So, trying to create this little cup here. So you'd come up, create a handle, and then through. So boom, 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 if it's going to do it like that. So every scenario looks good here. Unless you get a rejection here, which I highly doubt. But, you know, we can't ever say until it happens. You know, you can't ever say that something's going to happen or something's not going to happen until it does. Watch for the volatility here in the next, like, 30 minutes or so. I'm warning you. It's the time the U.S. wakes up, and they always give volatility. So hopefully this isn't going to be one of those days where they just end up kicking us in the nuts. I have a hard time believing with the way the weekly and daily looks that it's going to be any more than just a typical consolidation. I think like H-bar and some other ones are giving us the early outliers. So just pay attention.